Cool. Hey Libra, this video is going to be for you. It is going to be for probably the second half of April. I was hoping to actually have more videos out for you so we could do like a first and second half of April, but with the way timing works, for the second half of April, I am a new YouTube channel trying to expand. I have previous tarot reading experience, particularly with twin flames, but I started a new channel to expand off that and have more moved into zodiac signs for energy readings. So with that being said, I have pre-shuffled and pre-prayed. I use 4 different decks. I don't do any reversal readings. I'm not offering any private readings currently, not until I've gotten all the videos going and I'm kind of back in the swing of things. So for the time being, just feel free to leave comments on the videos. If you are really interested or just for some reason super happen to vibe with me for whatever reason, if you're just like, dude, that was like spot on where I'm at and I need a reading from this guy in particular, feel free to hit me up in the comments. Maybe we can work something out if that's the case. Alright, so with that being said, I'm just gonna hop right into it. Let's just get going. Pre-shuffled, pre-prayed, I'm pretty sure I've already said that. I 4 different rows here. I'm going to try something new with your video just to kind of cut down on some of the time. Most of my videos have been about a half hour. And I think I could cut down without deteriorating from the message. So we're going to just kind of fly through it because I respect your time and I don't want to hold you here for, half hour, 45 minutes and not have you, essentially stay till the end to hear your entire message. Alright, they both want to have. Cool. Interesting. Alright, Libra, we have the innate energy starting as the Ace of Swords, which is really about you finding a new idea that sparks change in your life. It's something that you ultimately come to grow and understand and have been implementing in your life is really the feeling I'm getting from it. With the World here, we have a breakthrough, and it looks like you're maybe stepping into a more emotional role for yourself after some level of spiritual enlightenment. It seems like you may have been going through a time frame and where you have been stagnant previous, and this new enlightenment, this kind of breakthrough here has or is going to open up a new chapter for you, and this new chapter really requires you to embrace your emotional side, feeling that in the whole side. So a lot of times Libras are pretty balanced people between head and heart. This is telling you that you need to embrace more of the emotional side of whom you are in order to progress and achieve this next level of spirituality and the breakthrough here. Because what we have coming up is a passionate new beginning. This is a passionate new beginning that you're going to gain through intuition. So this is something that you have been thinking about and maybe kicking back and pondering between. And there may have been some confusion in relation to whether or not this was actually going to happen or not. This is obviously the door to opening this road here is all about you stepping into the emotional role, you being willing to put yourself out there emotionally, being emotionally vulnerable so that your passionate new start can come. Because it looks like you may have been in a time period where you've just kind of been feeling isolated or lonely. And what we have here is the Fool underneath the Hermit, talking about a new start, a brand new beginning that's going to require the leap of faith. So this may be one of those times where all of a sudden you're feeling like you are actually the pursuer instead of the pursued in the past, where that may have been the more norm. This may require you to actually branch out and extend out your feelings as to how you're feeling about somebody, to kind of get the ball rolling. And I feel like there's some hesitation here, Libra, in you doing this. You've kind of maybe been playing the role in the back seat, going like, is this person going to talk to me? I feel like I'm being flirty. I feel like I'm sending signs, but I'm waiting for him to make the move, or her, however it is. general is not specific. I just have the Queen of Cups here showing up. So maybe this, and feel free to switch the roles if this is not your energy and maybe this is the energy you're thinking of somebody else. However, I do feel that this is kind of a requirement for you to do, Libra. To stand up, be in your emotional state, make the move, and proceed forward. Take the risk on, calling up your crush and saying, hey, can we go on a date? Whatever, XYZ, and if this is I'm not really seeing this being as somebody from the past. So if you are trying to connect with somebody from the past, this is not the reading for that. This is more a reading for somebody trying to start something new. So with that being said, very well, we still have 2 more rows of cards that may indicate that there may be some past energy here. But with that being said, this is probably just going to be how your last half of April plays out. So we have the 7 of Wands and the 8 of Swords here. This talks about you feeling like any time that you've tried to maybe do something like this in the past, that you've had to deal with some kind of standoffish nature, or there may just be a fear of rejection in you offering this thing out, which is keeping you held back in a mental state. Your fear of rejection here, Libra, is really what's going to almost hinder you from having the offer even be accepted or work out. You have to get out of the mental state in order to proceed forward so that you can actually have this come through. Because again, here we have the Princess of Wands with the Hermit here. So it's like maybe this person in the past has been aware that you have emotions or feelings towards them, or sometime in the past you may have interacted with said person if it's not a brand new person. And there may have been some rejection that led to some loneliness. This also may not be the same person. This may just have been a past experience for you where you felt like you put yourself out there and somebody rejected you, and then you felt lonely and kind of had to, tuck tail and run for a minute. But your emotions, so you're not all in right away with this person, whoever this may be, and still kind of keeping the balance of the head and the heart, yet leaning a little bit more on the emotional side, not all in, but a little bit more. So this situation may require some delicacy, but I think you're going to have a breakthrough here as to how to basically achieve that. All right, let's get some clarifiers on this here. Death card is the ending energy. You know what, Libra? I'm going to just go ahead and draw one more row here. And that way I can just kind of go all the way through the reading and give you kind of what comes up. What do we got down here? And the energy of the Tower also. Okay, alright, let's just read this here. So you can figure out what you want to do in your life, right? Because ultimately you have free will, and however you decide to proceed forward, while there is some fated events that are going to happen that are completely outside of control in our life, you still have some choice on how the story gets written. Alright, so you have the 3 of Pentacles showing up with the 2 of Cups. This talks about, kind of this process of maybe building something or trying to build this connection with this person that you have this romantic interest with. And I think maybe that's something that is holding you back. In a sense that you're just like, how much more do I chip away at this before they're going to finally say something or give me the sign that, it's time to proceed forward, right? You're sitting there, continuously like almost building and putting into this project and in hopes of this connection actually playing out. But again, I really feel like it's almost a self-limiting belief that, hey, I've been hurt in the past when I put myself out there. And it's a fear of rejection that's really holding you back from this. So that's kind of like this double-edged sword of like, I'm continuing to work at this, so it's not going to get any harder for me to eventually make my move. But really, you're just continuously like putting off the thing, and I think it may be causing some anxiety here. What we have here is the Queen of Wands with the Six of Swords. So this talks about you being almost in a place of like trying to use your intuition about this new start, and do I extend out this branch, and do I play this role of being passionate and caring and everything like that, or do I just move on? Like, they haven't made a choice, they haven't made a movement. Is it time for me to move on? And whatever. But it looks like to me you've kind of already made this choice after taking some time to think about it, and you realize that you're really not risking too much by making this choice, and putting yourself out there. It may have just seemed scarier than what it actually was. So I think you've completed the Two of Swords energy of being stuck at a fork in the road, and you're willing to proceed forward because you've taken the time to actually think about it. And I think that may be what actually brings in this new clarity for you. With the Nine of Wands, with the Ace of Wands, and this is really just a sign of the universe saying, hey man, we know that you've been kind of out here on your own, single, doing your thing, but we're really trying to give you a new beginning. There's a fresh start here, and it's your time to harvest. You've done the work. It's the season for this passionate new start to really begin. Something new's got to come into your life. Under this section here that's really been about this self-limiting belief and everything like that, you have to understand that what's been in your head and maybe these fears that have been holding you back as far as being rejected is really just an illusion. It's an illusionary state of saying, well, what if I proceed down this road and then it happens this way and, it just blows up because it wasn't the right time? Or what if I go down this road and I wait too long and then it wasn't the right time? Or, X, Y, Z. It's just a lot of different paths that you may be kind of feeling like, well, when's going to be the right time for me to make this move? And it's telling you to quit holding on, So stop delaying it. Just go for it. This is the Four of Pentacles, and then in this deck, the Four of Pentacles is represented with the Death card, which talks about ending the idea of holding on to this illusion, this fear of rejection, and fear that no matter which path you take, it could potentially lead to being rejected versus an alternative path, maybe having better success. And what it's really saying is that there's no right or wrong path for you, just your path and how you choose to write your story. So take that for what it is, okay? And let go of this idea that there's a rejection or fear of rejection, because the longer that you have this kind of mindset, you're really holding yourself back from the connection itself, the new possibility to come in, and you just have to face whatever happens, because even if it's with this person that you're like crazy about or wanting to make this new start with, and new beginnings coming in, and it's a passionate new beginning, so you might just get blindsided from the other side. You're sitting there looking one way and going like, I hope it works for them, I took my chance, and you fall flat on your face, and all of a sudden, like a week later, somebody else is totally all about you, and you're like, oh, I just had to take a leap of faith, and even though it didn't work with this one person, I still got caught and ended up with exactly what I wanted, just different, right? So this past notion of maybe somebody having rejection that led to some loneliness, maybe some past hurt, and you feeling like you were left out in the cold, which is part of why you're kind of so hesitant and guarded towards this idea of moving towards it. What Spirit's really asking you to embrace here is that the depth of this idea has to go. All this idea in your head has to leave before you can really proceed forward and go with it. You need to clear out the idea that anybody's going to reject you. And you can do that through, self-reassurance, manifestations of positive thoughts. Take some time to walk with yourself or talk to yourself and say, hey, this isn't going to be like this. This person loves me. This person is into me. I deserve love. I am this. I have this. Speak in the present tense. Be ready to manifest and speak those positive self-affirmations so that this can come in for you, okay? You gotta get rid of this, and the way to do that is by counteracting it and speaking so much positive that you're no longer filling this space with negative, right? And this is going to bring in the Tower. I don't really think that the Tower here is going to be a bad thing. You have the Empress right underneath that. What I'm saying is the Tower here with this entire reading doesn't seem like something that's going to like, oh my God, you know, my life just fell apart, you know, and everything like that. Well, it could be for some people. I think for the majority of people here, it's going to be a lot more like, oh, a sudden shift in how this entire relationship came out. And it's going to kind of come out of the blue because all of a sudden you're going to be like, hey, do you want to go on a date? And I'm like, yeah, I've liked you forever, or, you know, whatever, XYZ, to that whole situation. And you know, things proceed forward, and it's just a sudden life-changing experience for you because you went down, you took the leap of faith, and with that, you know, comes new things, and you got to shake up old foundations, old ideas that don't serve you. And I think that's what brings in this, you know, beauty of the Empress. Either, you know, whatever gender you relate with, maybe you're viewing your person in this manner, or maybe this is just you know, this new sense of self because you don't have these limiting belief factors holding you back from what you're trying to achieve. Libra, I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to get this out. Have a good day.